Hey guys, welcome back. So, I just saw something really cool on Instagram. Another art piece that's where I get a lot of inspiration from. It's just cool cyberpunk art. This guy Tom Leach _art, I will link his Instagram in the description. Has a cool windshield cover idea and kind of something I've always wanted to try on my car, and since this car isn't really something I drive much anymore, it's on antique tags, so pretty much anything goes. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to make a windshield covering thing. So what we got is kind of a perfectly dusty windshield. So I'm gonna kind of draw out just in the dust kind of where I want this thing to be. I got some cardboard here I'm going to go ahead and mock up, so we'll get the cardboard where it wants to be, we'll get it taped together, we'll get our whole idea made out of this stuff, and then once that's done, we'll go ahead and transfer it over to some ABS plastic. This is what I have left, and I think this width here to where it goes down to here, it'll kind of give us enough room to kind of make it like V off in the middle. And I think in the middle I'm gonna take some of this stuff, which is just aluminum U-channel. It's like 3/8 inch, and we'll go ahead and put two of those kind of down the center, probably about a foot apart. So kind of like right in there, so there will be one there and kind of one here, and that'll attach to where this little dip is right there. And then in here I might do something. I did buy another 12 by 24 sheet of plexi, and this is the orange, so maybe we'll try to get some of that in there a little bit. I don't want it to be super obvious, just in case. Like, I am going to drive this car, but I don't want to get pulled over every 5 miles because there's this giant thing in here. But like, I think subtly enough that it looks like a windshield banner, like a sticker, and then maybe just a little piece of plexiglass in here or something with some holes in it, or a design or something. And then I'll probably paint everything black just to kind of blend a little better. So I think I got some time today. I'm gonna go ahead and get started on it, and I'll go ahead and film the process and everything, and we'll see how it turns out. So let's start with some cardboard. Alright, so we got the basic idea kind of laid out. It's kind of crude, but it's not really going to matter when I transfer it over. I just need the basic outline. I can fill in the little gaps myself. But so from the front, it'll kind of look like that coming down, and then probably an inch in from each side is where I'll run the two pieces of the aluminum. So the next step's going to be, I got this cut out. My ABS that I have left, I've only got a maximum of 11 inches wide, so I need to knock this down to be 11 inches instead of 13 and a half. First issue that I did not foresee is, and I should have thought about this, the angle going across the windshield is going to cause this to bow, which I knew, but I didn't consider that it was going to bow enough that it wasn't going to fit within the piece of ABS that I have left. We're going to go ahead and pull this apart, get these pieces cut out individually. We'll lay them up there, tape them together, make some reference marks, and then I'll cut out some acrylic, and I gotta find all my rivets. We'll get to cutting. If you're new to using ABS, all I use is just a razor knife. You gotta kind of score it, and then you can kind of snap it and clean the edges up with some sandpaper or the razor knife and just kind of do that. So we'll get this cut out and we'll see how everything lines up. Fingers crossed. If this is your own car and you care about your finish, I recommend not cutting it on the hood, but this hood's bad. It's not bad, the hood kind of matches everything else, so any little scratch in it, it's not going to really bother me, but if you got nice paint, I probably would get a workbench to do this on. Okay, everything is cut, mounted up. We got a nice little, I know it's hard to tell with the tape, but these butt up against each other nicely. Got everything kind of where I want it. We're still going to trim these afterwards, but we're going to figure out a method of mounting all three of these pieces together. Went ahead and got all these little shapes cut out, so they kind of look like that. Just wanted to give them something other than just, you know, flat. I think it'll really give it, you know, something to look at. So those are going to go there and get riveted together. This will go here. So that'll give us enough strength to tie everything together, and it'll leave us with a cool looking design. And then I think down here, still on the fence about if I'm going to use the acrylic or this, but I might do something kind of like an overlay or like some circle cuts in it or something. But I'm going to go ahead and get these riveted up, and I'll be back with another test fit on the windshield. Alright, so we got everything riveted together. I'm really digging how this is looking so far. The next step's going to be trying to figure out what else I want to put on it. I feel like it's still missing something, so I gotta kind of brainstorm some ideas and try to get those put into reality, but here it is so far. Alright y'all, just got back from Home Depot. I picked up a few things. Mainly, I got some more aluminum because the pieces I had weren't long enough to do what I wanted. I threw this on there just to look a little different. I think I might cut some of the acrylic to go in here and maybe something behind it. I don't know. But I do like how that looks more than just nothing. We got the main structure shaped. So I think the next step is going to be to drill and get this mounted. That way I can take it off and on and know it's going to go right back in the same spot. And once that's done, I'll start working on the aluminum channel, and then we'll paint it and we'll do some weathering to it to kind of match everything else so it kind of all looks the same. I'm going to go ahead and start drilling some holes in this so we can get it mounted to the car, and then we'll go from there. It actually laid down a lot better than I expected it to. It's like there's hardly any like flop. I expected a little bit here, and I'm going to be putting some foam stuff under here to keep it from rattling. I'm hoping that when I get the aluminum on here, it's going to help hold everything down, especially on the road. I may have to cut some like little relief slits in this just so that the air can kind of go in and then out, so it doesn't just catch this and rip it off. Now that it's mounted up, we'll go ahead and get started on mounting the aluminum strips, and we'll try to figure out what we're going to do up in this area. I may have gotten a little carried away and not filmed a lot, but yeah, so here's what we got. The aluminum strips are now attached. The brackets that I bought from Home Depot I didn't end up using. I just used some conduit strap, bolted it to this, and then bolted it down. Still got plenty of lift to clear the windshield wiper. And then I got those attached up here to this thing. I still need to pull everything off and put a Chicago screw through this to hold it down, but once that's on there, it's not going anywhere. I didn't like how all this was just exposed like that, so I found this. It used to be a piece of like a light fixture that was up in our loft. I just modified it a little bit so I can bolt it down. It'll cover all that stuff. I think the final thing I want to do is cut the piece of acrylic for this hole. I'm waiting for this to dry, and then I'm going to hit it with some black paint. But yeah, everything for the most part's mounted up. I gotta, like I said, pull that off again, rivet those two things on. I'm going to clean up some of the rivets that weren't quite long enough. Make sure everything's good, put some foam tape behind there, straighten this line out here that's a little crooked. And then while it's off, I'll probably cut those relief holes in here so that the wind can go through it. But yeah, right now I'm just going to pull it all apart, so I'll be back. Alright, so here's all of our pieces. I got the U-channel painted black, all that painted black with some of the silver detailing in it. And then the rear cover, which I did in kind of a drab green with some splotches of black. And when we go back over and weather all this stuff with the rub and buff, it's really going to bring the edges out. So I'm just going to leave it like that for now. I got the relief holes for the air, 3 holes on that side, and then on this side I kind of freehanded just a little design. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get all this mounted back up and see if there's anything else we need to do. So things to note, when I cut these out, I wasn't quite sure where they were going to land. Probably should have measured a little better, but you can see the where the trim for the window was underneath it. So all I used was some of this reflective sticker that you can get anywhere. I think this came from Walmart or Home Depot, but I just cut a strip, stuck it underneath there, and now it just looks like it was on purpose. So all that's done. Got the 3 holes for the airflow for here, which I cut lower so you can't see the trim. And our little design on there. So I know I said I was going to cut the piece of acrylic for in there. I'm still not sure what I want to do with that, but this video is running a little long, so I think for now that's going to be good. So I think that's going to wrap it up. I'll go ahead and pull it outside so we can get some better shots and give you guys an idea of what it looks like as a whole. But I did just want to say that if you guys had any, if you guys wanted to do this to your own cars, it's not expensive. It's just finding your own stuff to do it with. You got to kind of be creative. Like I said, that main piece that I used in the center, this thing was off of a fan, which I also used pieces there. And I still have leftover pieces of it. So, if you're trying to do this kind of similar stuff, just check out weird places. I mean, thrift stores are a great spot to find weird stuff, and it's cheap. Old routers or whatever it might be. I mean, old antennas for CBs. Just stick them on there, paint them up, and it looks like it's supposed to do something. So if anybody has any questions, just reach out to me. I read all the comments and I reply to them all. So again, thanks for checking everything out. I'm going to go ahead and get the car outside so you guys can see it in all its glory. I'm on Instagram at Vovo Drifto. I'll put it in here. Yeah, again, thank you so much for watching this video. It's really helping me out a lot. I've gained a bunch of subscribers over the last couple weeks. You guys are all awesome. Stay tuned because there's a lot more crazy stuff coming up soon. So I always try to post a preview on Instagram first. Follow me on there to keep up to date. So go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoyed what I did. It helps me out a bunch, and it'll let me know to keep making stuff like this for you guys. So thank you so much to all of you, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.